In 2011, if you put 10,000 rupees into Bitcoin, the value of that same Bitcoin in March 31st, I'm laughing as I'm saying this, 2021, the value of that Bitcoin would be 46 crores. Hey guys, welcome to my first ever podcast video. I'm Nikhil Chinappa and yep, this is a brand new podcast. In fact, it's so brand new that we haven't even figured out a name for it yet. So for now, we're just going to call it The Podcast. Like I said, I'm Nikhil Chinappa and many of you may know me as the MTV Roadies guy or the MTV Splitsvilla guy, or you've been watching MTV for even longer, the MTV Select guy or that DJ guy. But not many of you know me as that guy who has an interest in cryptocurrencies. That's right. A lot of my friends know about it. They know that I've been investing in different financial products in the share market since I was in my college days. But recently, I got more interested in cryptocurrency. And even more recently, my friends have been calling me and saying, hey man, how do I get in on this action? Can you please explain to me what's going on? So this is a show for you. If you are interested in getting to know what the heck is going on in the world of cryptocurrency. This is not meant to be a show that's very in-depth or give you financial advice. And at this point in time, it's very important for me to tell you that this show is not financial advice. This is meant purely for entertainment purposes and educational purposes. And if you want to invest in cryptocurrency, you need to do your own research and not listen to what I'm telling you. Okay? Now that we've got that out of the way, let me start by saying that wherever you are, whoever you are, you've probably heard these three words over the past few months. One of them is blockchain. The other is cryptocurrency. And the third, of course, is Bitcoin. And you probably asked yourself, what exactly are these things? Now, these are the kind of questions that a lot of my non-technical friends have been calling me and asking me. And I think it's time to try and start to explain some of these terms. So first, let's start at the beginning. The blockchain. Now, before we start to explain how the blockchain works, which is what every single post on the internet tries to do, we'll start by answering an even more basic question, which is, what exactly is the problem that blockchain solves? I mean, why do we even need something as complex as blockchain? Because the world was working just fine, right? दुनिया ठीक से चल रही थी, तो blockchain की जरूरत क्या थी? Let me start there. Let's imagine that we've got a friend called Vikram. Vikram goes away to America, and while he's there, he runs out of money. He calls me and says, Nikhil, can you please send me 1,000 rupees? So I call up my banker, who's in a bank called ABC, and I tell him, please can you transfer 1,000 rupees into Vikram's account? Now it's important to realize that I haven't gone to give my banker any physical cash. मैं बैंक नहीं गया हूँ और मैंने 1,000 रुपए अपने बैंकर को नहीं दिए और ना ही मेरे बैंकर ने वो 1,000 रुपए लेकर विक्रम के खाते में डाले हैं. All that my banker does is open a register and makes an entry that 1,000 rupees goes from Nikhil to Vikram. So the next time Vikram goes to an ATM in Miami or New York, he puts his card in and he's able to withdraw those 1,000 rupees that my banker has put into his account. So let's try and understand what just happened. Both Vikram and I trusted the bank and my bank manager to manage our money. There was actually no real movement of physical money. जैसे कि मैंने आपको समझाया था कि वो 1,000 रुपए मैंने जाकर अपने बैंकर को नहीं दिए हैं और उसने वही 1,000 रुपए विक्रम को नहीं दिए हैं. All that he did was make an entry in a register and manage that register. So basically, even though Vikram and I trust each other, we're best friends. In order to establish that trust between ourselves of that 1,000 rupees, we need a third party. जो है वो बैंक, ABC बैंक. मगर आपका सवाल होगा कि भाई इसमें प्रॉब्लम क्या है? We've been using banks for so many years, for centuries. We've used them, our parents have used them, and our grandparents have used them. Now the problem is that banks are singular. अगर यहाँ पे गड़बड़ होने वाला है, तो it takes one person or one organization to go corrupt and the whole system fails. And I can give you an example. What if my bank was not called ABC and was called PMC instead? You know what happened there. Also, what if that register in which the transaction was logged gets burnt in a fire? What if my account manager, instead of transferring 1,000 rupees, transfers 2,000 rupees? What if he does that on purpose? So basically what's been happening over here is that for many years, all of us, to establish trust in the movement of money, have been putting all our eggs in one basket. And that too, it's somebody else's basket, a bank. So the question is this, कि क्या हम एक ऐसा सिस्टम बना सकते हैं जहां पे हम पैसा ट्रांसफर कर सकते हैं मगर बैंक की जरूरत भी ना पड़े? Can we move money without needing a bank? Now, to answer this question, we need to go down a little deeper and ask a better question. Because better questions lead to better answers. And the better question is this. What does transferring money actually mean? ये सिर्फ एक register में entry है ना? It's just an entry in a register. So the better question would then be, is there a way to maintain that register amongst ourselves, between Vikram and me, instead of somebody else doing it for us? Now that question has a great answer. And that answer, you guessed it, is blockchain. So to put it very simply, a blockchain is basically a distributed ledger. Now let me tell you what I mean by a distributed ledger. It's that same bank register that's maintained by thousands of people across the world simultaneously, which means it can't be hacked. And the reason it can't be hacked is because one change in that register will get nullified or overruled by all the other registers which are actually not hacked. And because that record is being maintained by thousands of registers across the world, it is impossible to hack, because you would have to hack not just one computer, you would have to hack thousands of computers across the world at the same time. So to try and briefly answer another question about what exactly is Bitcoin, Bitcoin started off as a way of transferring money between people, transferring value between people without using a third party, and it used a technology called blockchain. That was it, right? So that means every single other cryptocurrency that came after it was just like Bitcoin. Well, actually, no. There are over 7,000 cryptocurrencies in the world today, and many of them serve many different applications, just like the way the internet does. Let's talk about that for a second. When the internet was first invented, it was invented by the military as a way to have better communication. Computers could talk to each other through the internet. The first real-world application of the internet was something called electronic mail, मतलब email, जो आज हम सब इस्तेमाल करते हैं. मगर उस टाइम पे लोग कह रहे थे कि यार email की क्या जरूरत है? Why do I need email? The postal system works just fine. I don't need to write an email. I'll just send a letter. Can you imagine a world today without email? Similarly, if you're thinking, why do I need cryptocurrency? I've got pounds, dollars, rupees. I don't need cryptocurrency. Well, you're kind of wrong. Just like the way the people who thought that they didn't need to use the internet because they didn't need email were wrong 25 or 30 years ago. But the internet didn't just stop at email. Today, you use the internet for everything. You can order a cab on the internet. आप खाना मंगा सकते हो. You can share photographs and videos on the internet. You can transfer money on the internet. And of course, you're watching the show right now on the internet. मगर इंटरनेट के अंदर भी बहुत इनोवेशन हुई है. There's been a lot of changes in apps that started off as one thing but evolved to become something else on the internet. For example, Facebook. Facebook was started as a way to help college friends connect with each other after many years. Today, it is the world's most powerful media organization. Instagram ko dekh lo. It started off as a place to just share photographs with each other. It is now the best marketplace for influencer marketing. YouTube started off as a place to just share videos. Today, it serves as a streaming platform that works across multiple apps. And even Netflix started off in 1997 as an online DVD rental place, and then they started streaming only 10 years later in 2007. And now many of us watch our movies on different apps like Netflix. Similarly, the technology behind Bitcoin, which is the blockchain technology, has led to many different applications and many different uses. And these have led to the birth of many different cryptocurrencies. So just like the internet and many different apps have many different uses in the real world, blockchain technology also has loads of real world uses. And I can give you some examples. In the government sector, blockchain is used to ensure the safety of public records. For example, when land is bought and sold, to make sure that nobody can fudge those land and title records. Blockchain is used in the retail industry by eliminating third-party interference. It's used in financial services to cut back costs and reduce fees. Blockchain is also used in healthcare for managing patient database authenticity. And most recently, blockchain is going to be used in state voting in America. In fact, Alaska has become the first US state which is on course to use blockchain in voting across the state. Senator Mike Shower in Alaska is drafting a proposal, and he says, "I'm merely trying to find a way to make it tighter and better as we move into the 21st century, primarily about how we secure our elections so that people will have faith in the results even if they don't like them." So you know all those stories about EVM manipulation in India? You could eliminate all of that if you just used blockchain technology. But let's take a deep breath and pause here for a second and bring on someone who's going to tell us a little more about the world of cryptocurrency. This guy is special. He's one of the pioneers of India's crypto movement, and is also the founder and CEO of India's biggest crypto trading platform called WazirX. His name is Nikhil Shetty.
Hi, I'm Nikhil, and I'm the founder and CEO of WazirX, India's largest crypto exchange.
And this is it, the man, the moment. Nikhil, welcome, man. It's really good to connect with you.
Thanks, Nikhil. Thanks a lot for having me here.
You know, it's really funny. About a month and a half ago, I put out a tweet on Twitter. It was a hashtag that I'd seen in quite a few places, India wants crypto. And I just put that out as a tweet, hashtag India wants crypto. And I got a mad bunch of responses to it. And you retweeted it. And then I looked you up and I realized that you were the person behind WazirX, which is the platform that I've been trading on.
Uh-huh.
But I didn't realize that you're an MTV fan as well. Did you watch MTV when you were in college?
Yeah, absolutely. I think everyone did. Everyone around me did.
What exactly is cryptocurrency? What is it? Is it fake money? Is it somebody's imagination? Is it hawa mein kuch bhi? It can evaporate overnight. What is it?
So I think, the first thing to know out here is what I'm going to attempt is sort of me trying to explain what the internet is. And if you think about it, the internet is different for different people.
Yeah.
Some on the internet will use it for booking cabs. Some will use it for watching shows like these. So it's different for different people. That's the same with cryptocurrency. We have to have that in mind. But let's see what's the basis of, on top of which crypto was built. Mm-hmm. If you look in the real world today, let's say, Nikhil, me and you, and we meet in person, and I want to give you 100 rupees. What would I do? I would take a 100 rupee note and hand it over to you. So this transaction was between me and you, no one else in between. But in the traditional online system today, financial system, when I send that 100 rupees to you, what I'm doing actually is my bank is involved in between.
Yeah.
So I tell my bank, send 100 rupees to Nikhil's bank account, right? So it's not like cash. It's a different system, three parties.
It's computers sending messages to each other.
Yes, that's all.
You're not physically giving 100 rupees to your bank is physically not giving 100 rupees to my bank. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So here is where the innovation of Bitcoin came in, or cryptocurrency came in, where Satoshi Nakamoto, that name you might have heard about, everyone has heard about,
but nobody knows
who it is. Yeah, this is the amazing thing.
It's like the voice. It's like the voice on Big Boss. Nobody knows who it is.
Yes, exactly. So nobody knows, and that's the beauty of it. But the objective was, can we replicate that cash transaction that happens between friends in the real world? Can we do it online? And this is where cryptocurrency came. Where cryptocurrency is nothing but when I send you one Bitcoin, I can send it directly to you. I don't need a bank in Bitcoin.
I actually started trading in crypto during the last Bitcoin boom in 2017, and I just kind of dabbled in it. Then I forgot about it, and then the second bull run started recently, so that's when I started getting more into it, and I started doing my own research and my own sort of homework on this. Right now, this crypto world is taking off like crazy.
Absolutely, I think it's a sign of the changing times. If you see, it is the youngsters who are actually driving this.
Yes.
And that's something I tell people, you should always take notice what the youngsters are doing.
Absolutely.
And,
man, you took the words out of my mouth. The number of times that I've told people in large organizations, listen to the interns. Because the interns are the ones that are on the cutting edge of what's new, what's cool, what's going to take off. And they're the ones that have the best ideas. I've also spoken about the reason Bitcoin came about, just before we started chatting, which is there was a problem. Some banks around the world had collapsed. We've seen that happen in India. It happened during the Wall Street collapse of 2008, 2009. And a lot of people's livelihoods, savings, careers, jobs all evaporated because their money was held by these banks. The banks shut down.
Exactly.
And boom. And then there's also this rumor that the US government bailed out these banks with secret bailouts of $16 trillion or something like that. And that's that's taxpayers' money. That's the money that we've been paying as tax. So you had no control over the wealth that you were creating. And the concept of Bitcoin was a solution to that problem. It wasn't just awame. And that's what I've been reading up as well. The more I read up about various cryptocurrencies, and there's so many of them right now. And if you research them, saying, what is this coin? What does it do? I mean, Ripple is one of them that everybody's talking about right now. It's touted to replace banking's SWIFT mechanism, right? That's something that
yes.
And then you start to realize that all of these cryptocurrencies are actually solutions to problems. And the solutions are based on the original technology behind Bitcoin, which is the blockchain technology. I mean, the internet has spawned, that technology has spawned so many different solutions to so many different problems. Similarly, and correct me if I'm wrong, the technology behind Bitcoin, which is the blockchain technology, has led to so many different solutions to other problems in a world of innovation and technology, right? 10 years ago, if you had put 10,000 rupees in HDFC on the 31st of March 2011, on the 31st of March 2021, that 10,000 rupees would have multiplied 7 times, almost 70,000 rupees. 70,000 rupees, okay? I applied this to Bitcoin as well, which is the currency that most people know about. In 2011, if you put 10,000 rupees into Bitcoin, the value of that same Bitcoin in March 31st, I'm laughing as I'm saying this, 2021, would be 46 crores. 10,000 rupees.
Now my disappointment is even more. ये 2010 में खरीदा क्यों
नहीं मगर I tell you यार ये तो बहुत सारे लोग कह सकते हैं ये तो तुक्का है यार ये तो of course if you buy stocks right in the beginning you'll gain value. And it's not just Bitcoin, because that's the coin that we're talking about, since everybody's familiar with it. There are lots of different coins, and I'll say this again, guys, it's very important कि आप हम दोनों की बात मत सुनो. You have to do your own research if you're investing in this market, because the market keeps going up and down. Don't blindly buy something because somebody else is buying it or you saw a link on YouTube. You have to do your own research. But this is like a modern day share market, isn't it? You're trading, you're buying and selling.
The beauty is, this is the early mover advantage exists. अब if you look at other markets, वहाँ पे बहुत सालों से चल रहा है, बहुत लोग आ चुके हैं. यहाँ पे it is our time to be the early movers.
But tell me something. Everybody knows now कि Bitcoin का नाम तो सुना है, मगर Bitcoin खरीदे कैसे? क्योंकि उसका वैल्यू अभी तकरीबन 45 lakhs हो गया ना एक Bitcoin का. तो अगर मैं एक Bitcoin का fraction भी खरीदता हूँ, because you can actually like a rupee has 100 पैसे, a Bitcoin has 100 crore or 10 crore satoshis, which are the decimal points, up to 8 decimal points. So how does somebody buy a little bit of Bitcoin? अगर आपके पास 500 रुपए है या 1000 रुपए है और आप इसको बचा के रखना चाहते हो, क्योंकि आप कह रहे हो कि यार ये मेरे पास तो अभी 500 रुपए या 1000 रुपए हैं, ये 10 साल में शायद 10,000 रुपए बन जाए, शायद, ठीक है, maybe more, maybe less. But how do you buy Bitcoin with 500 rupees? Can you do that?
Yeah. See, just like what you said about rupee, or let's say gold, for example. आपको 1 किलो गोल्ड खरीदने की जरूरत नहीं. You can buy a small 1 gram of gold also. So similarly, Bitcoin, you can go even lower. So you can start with 500 rupees, buy a small amount, and it will be like 0.001, 0001 वैसा होगा, छोटा part. And and I would suggest कि अगर आप पहली बार Bitcoin में invest करने वाले हो, तो वैसे ही start करो छोटा सा, ताकि एक पूरा cycle सीख सको. First buy it out, थोड़ा देख लो, और बाद में अगर थोड़ा ऊपर जा रहा है तो बेच के एक साइकिल कंप्लीट कर लो. सो 500 से यू कैन स्टार्ट, एंड देयर इज नो नीड टू बाय द होल अमाउंट, बिकॉज बहुत लोग सोचते हैं कि 45 लाख डालना पड़ेगा. नो, नॉट एट ऑल. डोंट पुट दैट ऑल्सो. डोंट, अगर आप पहली बार आ रहे हो 500 रुपए डाल के पहले सीख लो. I think that's the right approach.
So you've launched a new option on the WazirX platform, right? How does that it's called the quick buy option?
Yes. So what was happening is, it's our initial product that exists already, वहाँ पे you have to be slightly more sophisticated trader के trading करना. But बहुत लोग were asking us कि मुझे तो बस buy करना है, 500 rupees, I want to put 500
trade नहीं
rupees,
करना
I want to buy. Trade नहीं करना है. So for that we made a very simple interface है, जहाँ पे आपको you have to just put how much you want it, 500 rupees, 600 rupees. We'll find the best price and सबसे cheapest price में we will buy it out.
Oh,
so nothing else to do. That's all.
And then you just sit on it after that.
Yes.
You don't have to trade.
Yes.
Oh, that's very convenient.
Yeah, and selling also the same way. One click button and you're able to sell at the price. Whenever the price is whatever the price is, it'll sell at that price.
But you still have to do your KYC and your bank verification,
yes,
right?
Everyone has to do it.
Everyone has to do that. So guys, it's not a thing. You can't do it in a debit card. You can't do it in a credit card. Although I think somewhere down the line that option
might come. But
up.
now UPI is there. So UPI is very easy and everyone has UPI.
Okay.
So most people use UPI.
What is crypto's standing in India right now?
Sure. I think and let's clear that because itna confusion hai. Everyone's like, kya ho raha hai? So the first thing is in India there is no regulation as on today. But I tell people.
मगर ये अच्छी बात है कि बुरी बात है कि regulation नहीं है.
So yeah, I'll give you an example. There is no regulation for Ola and Uber today. There is no regulation for e-commerce today. Yes, there is no regulation for a lot of the products that exist in the market today. क्यों नहीं है? Because innovation पहले आता है.
Actually, you're right. There is no regulation. Ola and Uber they're not registered taxi. You're right.
No, exactly. So that's what the internet is all about. But I understand the concern in crypto. But why is crypto so much in the forefront? Is because ये finance में deal कर. So then suddenly everyone is like regulation तो होना चाहिए because banks have regulation. सबका financial products का regulation. And I think we also believe regulation होना चाहिए. And we are going towards it. But time lagega because it's an innovation which is very different. And if you see, there is no regulation for crypto anywhere in the world. Everyone's trying. US भी try कर रहा है. Japan has some regulation, but still very early. So I think it will take some time. Now the question is, many people say कि यार regulation आने दो उसके बाद जाते हैं. My point is, the world is already going ahead. If we sit for regulation, if it takes 5-10 years, then as a nation we would have lost on this whole technology.
Well,
we should be ahead of our time.
I think the Indian government has also taken some right steps in this regard. They've released a circular saying that they require all companies to declare on their books now if they're holding crypto, which is a good thing to do because if you're making profit out of crypto, you should be taxed as well. And I think taxation is good. If you're earning from something, you should be taxed according to the law of the land. One of the interesting things that I started noticing as well is that people are making a decent amount of money in cryptocurrency, and these are not people in their late 30s or late 40s. The people who are innovating in this space, you were talking about it when we spoke about it last night. They're 20-year-olds, 22-year-olds that are researching and working hard in this space and making something of their savings and their lives.
So I'm hearing stories of how there are people out of college who made more money to pay off their college fees and everything on their own. So and that's amazing. I think great stories for youngsters in India on how they're going into financial planning early on.
I just want to emphasize again over here, guys, that cryptocurrency is not a get-rich-quick solution. It is a place where, like with anything else in the world, you have to work hard, you have to do your studies, you have to do your research, and you have to invest wisely. But if you invest wisely, the potential to do well is significant. Let's take a look at what happened with some of our well-known indexes over the past 7 years. Between those years, the Sensex gave you a compounded annual growth rate, also known as CAGR, of 11.62%. The Nifty gave you 11.64%. Gold gave you 4.71%, and Bitcoin gave you a CAGR return of 96.95%. And this was between the years of 2014 and 2021. In fact, the Economic Times has crowned cryptocurrency the top performing asset class of 2020 and 2021 with 800% returns.
See, end of the day, it's a high risk investment option compared to everything else. So, put the right amount based on your portfolio. High risk mein kitna dalna, utna hi dal. Don't go overboard.
So I know you're not giving financial advice, but let's say if you've got a certain amount of money that you've got in fixed deposit, you've got in savings, you've got in cash in your wallet, you've got in your bank account, you've gotten share in the share market. What percentage of all of that saving or cash should you put into crypto? Because there's a saying in crypto that never invest more than you're willing to lose.
Willing to lose, right? Exactly, and which is why I think ideally what I've seen, the data shows is most people want to put not more than 5 to 10% into this, because also think about it, it's a 10x opportunity in a way.
Yeah.
So put 5 to 10. If there is a 10x opportunity, you have at least covered your portfolio, entire portfolio as earning. So that's the kind of percentage that people look at.
Okay, Nikhil, that's great advice for everybody watching, and I just want to say thank you so much for coming on the show, man. And I know we're going to have more conversations with you and the rest of your team, because we can't talk about it right now. I'm hearing rumors of the amazing things that are happening behind the scenes that are going to get rolled out on the WazirX platform shortly. You've also announced your NFT marketplace is going to be coming up soon. That's in the public space. People know about that. And I know that there's so much talent in India, especially in design and art. I think a lot of people are going to be using WazirX's NFT space that's coming up soon. The quick buy option has already been launched. So I'm really excited for all the innovation that's happening in this space with the technology behind it.
Yeah, I'm super excited as well, and it's also very exciting to have gotten this opportunity to have this discussion with you, and I look forward to probably timely discussing what our portfolios are every few months to see where both of us are in this whole crypto journey.
Yes, and on that note, I have one more question to ask you. Tu banega rodi? Hey, thanks a lot, man. It's been good chatting with you, and hopefully I'll see you very soon.
Sure. Thanks, Nikhil.
Take it easy. Bye.
Bye.
So that was Nikhil Shetty from WazirX, and I'm pretty sure that we're going to have him more often here on my crypto podcast. But now it's time for meme therapy. So meme therapy is going to be this part of the show where we basically trawl the internet to look for interesting memes around crypto and around cryptocurrencies. So if you have any interesting memes that you'd like to send me, all they need to do is send them to me on Twitter. My Twitter handle is @NikhilChinappa. I will review them, save them, and then put them on the podcast, and of course give you credit. Like I'm giving credit to this guy. Crypto India sent me this meme, which is actually quite funny. Now the thing is, most people didn't know that I've been investing in crypto for some time. So this one I actually had a bit of a giggle over, and really appreciate the editing skills as well. I've sent this out to a lot of my friends who've been asking me about cryptocurrency because they understand the relevance of it. But hey man, Crypto India, thank you so much for sending this through. Once again, if you have any interesting memes, feel free to send them through to me on my Twitter handle @NikhilChinappa. Also found some interesting memes, especially around Dogecoin. This one is particularly nice, and I think it's hilarious. It shows that titanic epic battle between Godzilla and King Kong. And of course, in the next slide, here comes Doge with his baseball bat, beating the crap out of the two of them. Of course, Doge, by the time you guys watch this podcast, I have no idea where that currency is going to be. But in my next podcast, we are going to be diving deep into Doge because it seems to be everybody's favorite crypto. And it scares me. I have no idea why. As for me, whether I have some Doge as well, I do, but it scares me. We'll get down to doing more about Doge later on. Here's another interesting one, which is Dogecoin is just meme money with an uncapped supply. Central bankers. That's because governments back the dollar, the pound, the Indian rupee, but Doge is backed by a whole bunch of people on Robinhood and on Reddit. The question is, who do you trust more? Governments or the Reddit gang? This next one is pretty funny. 50 Cent versus 50 XRP. My Ripple family, where you at? Jasul has been one of my all-time favorite meme creators and content creators in India. So it's really cool to see him in this meme next to 50 Cent with, of course, 50 Ripple. I love it. I really like this one. And finally, this is a face that I think if you've been in crypto for a while, you've definitely made this face at some point in time. When you hesitate on one day to buy a coin and the next day, that coin shoots the heck up. You're like, wish I'd done that. And that's been happening a lot with a lot of the altcoins, especially Ethereum, Ethereum Classic, Binance, and of course, WazirX. That coin went through the roof about a month ago. And with that very cute Labrador smiling grinning, grimacing meme, we've come to the end of my very first podcast. Of course, you do know that at some point in time, I'm going to be turning this very first podcast into an NFT. If you're interested in purchasing that NFT, leave a message in the comments below. Also, don't forget that in the comments below, you may come across people who are trying to impersonate me. That is not me. I am not going to try and get you to join a Telegram channel or a WhatsApp group or subscribe to anything. So please beware of anybody using my name, my photograph, and leaving comments in the comment section, because that is probably not me, because I'm not much of a commenting person. In the meantime, if you have any interesting information that you would like to share with me, or if you just want to have a chat with me, you can find me on Instagram and on Twitter. These are my handles. And of course, I will catch up with you next time right here on the next episode of my podcast, which is still to be named. Oh, and by the way, if you do come up with a name, agar aapko koi acha sa naam milta hai is podcast ke liye, please leave that in the comments as well. And you never know, man, we might just use that name. And if I use that name, I'll send you some crypto. I promise.